The sporting world is ever moving. The stars from yesteryear are often quickly forgotten as new stars arise. The NRL is no different, although some players remain more memorable than others. A player the streets won't forget is someone who perhaps had a brief run of outstanding form, had an eccentric type of play, or had a cult following without being mainstream. Although players such as Ben Barba could fit in those requirements, they won't be on this list as they really haven't been forgotten to the common NRL fan. So here are 10 of those players in the history of the NRL. Remember, this list is purely subjective and it isn't in any particular order. At number 10, it's Tim Smith. Tim Smith can be described as one of those flash-in-the-pan players, one that if you weren't an avid NRL fan in 2005, you likely have not heard of. Tim Smith burst onto the scene in his rookie season in 2005. Like, imagine the impact Reece Walsh had on the Warriors in his rookie season, times it by 10. Smith's rookie numbers recorded were 6 tries, 23 line break assists, 32 tackle breaks, and a whopping 40 try assists. This is an NRL record, and to put into perspective, NRL stars like Cody Walker sit in third with 32 try assists and Thurston in second with 33 try assists. Smith would win the Dally M Rookie of the Year award and were minor premiers with the Parramatta Eels in 2005. Unfortunately, the rise was as fast as the fall for Smith and dealt with various off-field issues. Smith's 2005 remains fond in Eels fans' memories though. At number 9, it's Chris Sando. The little maestro also started his career strong, a player who was inconsistently special. Capable of being a world beater on his day and then absolutely woeful the next, it was Sando's stature and play style that became endearing to fans. An iconic debut which landed a game-winning field goal and play that would win him the Rookie of the Year award in 2008, Sando experienced a brief run of outstanding form. He gained cult hero status at the Bunnies, often playing well above his weight, performing shoulder charges on players twice his size. Sando brought a fierce nature, mixed with great skills, to the Bunnies before moving over to Parramatta in 2012, where it's safe to say his form took a significant downturn. Sando would be out of the NRL by 2015 and in the Super League for the following 2 seasons before off-field issues derailed his career. At number 8, it's Mitchell Aubusson. Possibly one of the most underrated players in the NRL, Orbo, who retired in 2020, was a one-club player reaching 306 games with the club, becoming the only player in club history to play 100 games in 2 different positions, 100 times in the centre and 129 times in the second row. Insanely versatile, Aubusson could feature almost anywhere on the park and was immensely important in the club's 2013, 2018 and 2019 premiership wins. Aubusson may have not hit the individual heights of representative footy outside of some city country appearances, but he's a definite club hero for the Roosters, currently featuring in a role in the club's head office. Number 7, it's George Rose. Nicknamed Gorgeous Jaws, the 6'2", 136kg front rower was the epitome of a cult hero. In a sport where everyone is absolutely ripped, performing hours upon hours of strength training, George's physique related much more to the average man. Rose referred to himself as a footballer rather than an athlete, and although it may not have looked like it, Rose could play. Winning a premiership in 2011, a Club Player of the Year award in 2009, and performing absolutely monster hits his entire career, Rose was more than solid. He now is the CEO of the biggest Australian boxing promotion, No Limit Boxing, which he runs with his 2 brothers, so it's safe to say he is living it up. At number 6, it's Fuifui Moimoi. Known for his various hairstyles and tenacious ball running, Moimoi is one of the most accomplished players on this list, with appearances for both New Zealand and Tonga. Living his homeland of Vava'u off the Tongan mainland at 17, where they had no phones or internet, he would feature professionally in 141 games in England after playing in over 200 games in 11 NRL seasons for the Eels, with himself becoming one of the Eels' cult heroes. Moimoi's career was full of memorable moments, like when he told South's coach Paul Langmack, "You play me for 10 minutes, I train for 10 minutes," before storming off the training paddock. How about when he complained about there being no air conditioning in his unit, only for the big industrial fan in the Eels gym being stolen the next day and then returned at the end of the summer? Or my favourite story of Fui claiming he could run 100 metres in 9.7 seconds, 0.2 faster than the world record. Bro was not only a character, but one of the best prop forwards of his era, a true stalwart for the Parramatta Eels. At number 5, Taniela Tuiaki. The Tongan tank, initially a Union player, would make the code switch joining the Tigers as a youngster. Tuiaki was a try-scoring machine with 42 tries in 78 games, with a club record at the time of 21 tries in 2009, also in the top 10 in line breaks and tackle busts for that season. He would ultimately win Dally M Winger of the Year in 2009 and play internationally for both Tonga and New Zealand. Unfortunately, Tuiaki would suffer a career-ending ankle injury in round 24 of that 2009 season. He is always remembered very fondly though by Tigers fans, as his damaging play and high motor were always appreciated. At number 4, it's David Williams. The Wolfman, recognised often for his shaggy locks, his beard, and just his overall handsomeness, David Williams had an accomplished, if not short, career in the NRL. Debuting in 2008, he would win a premiership in his rookie year. In that same season, he would be named for the Australian Kangaroos side, scoring a hat-trick on debut and featuring in a World Cup final. The following season, he made 2 appearances for the Blues in State of Origin, scoring in both games. He would suffer some serious injuries, with the biggest being a neck injury, which ruled him out for a year, with the constant injuries a key reason to why the Wolfman would retire in 2015. The One Club man is often remembered for his great finishing ability, but I think his representative achievements may have surprised many. At number 3, Hazem El Masri. Known as El Magic, there are a few more iconic Bulldogs than the great Hazem El Masri. An absolute wizard with the boot, he would be the record highest point scorer in NRL history, leading the league in 6 separate seasons in points. He would have a long 13-year career with a premiership in 2004, a Blues appearance in 2007 and a Kangaroos cap in 2002. El Masri really did it all. A pioneer when it comes to Lebanese rugby league, he inspired the next generation of Lebanese players, with the country now a regular at the World Cup. A huge member of the Lebanese Sydney community and still a part of the Bulldogs, El Masri had a career he could be proud of. At number 2, it's Mark Riddell. Piggy Riddell, known as a larrikin, who was eccentric in his play, whether it was the raised arm when moving in to convert goals, one of the great try celebrations, or just because he was a solid NRL hooker, fans love Riddell. For a couple seasons, Riddell was in contention for a Blues jersey, making the extended squad. He featured for New South Wales City and would leave the Dragons in 2004 as the club's highest ever point scorer. A Super League champion before returning back to the NRL in 2011, Riddell had a great career. At number 1, it's Scott Minto. I mean, who else? When it comes to players the streets won't forget, it had to be Scott Minto. Nicknamed the People's Immortal, Scott Minto would have a short but memorable 35-game career playing for both the Broncos and the Cowboys. His career highlight would have to be his game-winning try in Golden Point. God, I actually love this try. The lanky winger was also nicknamed 40-20 due to looking like he was 40 but being in his early 20s. He also strangely looked like Wayne Bennett, his coach, during his debut season, which is kinda weird. The Minto lore only gets deeper when a subreddit was created in 2015 for Scott Minto to be given a bronze statue. This would actually be commissioned 3 years later by Sportsbet, as Scott Minto would get a bronze statue outside of Suncorp Stadium. That statue now sits proudly at the Caxton Hotel. So that is all for this top 10 list of NRL players the streets won't forget. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like. If you want more of this content, subscribe. Less than 10% of the channel viewers are subscribed, and it really helps out the channel in the algorithm. Comment down below what videos you want to see next, and as always, thank you for watching.